So today we're going to talk about something really important. As you guys know, the purpose of this channel is to give you the tools that you need to build automations, agents, workflows, to use AI to help you save time and money in your firms. But there is something fundamental that you're going to need to know and understand and get over before you're able to really integrate these successfully and really see the benefits in your practice. If you're not able to get over this, it doesn't matter how much you learn about AI, about automation, about building workflows, about different platforms. If you don't get over this, then you'll never really be able to see tangible results with these workflows, these agents. No technology is going to help you unless you get over this first. So in this video, I'm going to explain why we stop ourselves from making our lives easier. And by we, I mean any solo practitioner, solopreneur, anyone who's running their own business, right? That you've built this business with your own blood, sweat, and tears, and it means a lot to you, and it's probably difficult for you to delegate things to other people and trust that they're going to do them to your standard. I'm going to explain why we struggle to make our own lives easier and why we end up making our lives harder so much of the time. If you don't know me, my name is Masai Andrews, and I help solo attorneys and small firms to build automations, workflows, using AI to help them save money and time in their practice. Okay, so let's get into it. Obviously, like we've already said, the purpose of this channel is to give you all the tools you need to build your own automations, workflows. It's to give you the tools you need so that you can use technology to make your life easier. The first thing to know is if you are somebody who feels like who is used to doing everything by themselves, you're used to wearing multiple hats and doing all the things in your business, in your firm, and you feel like nobody can do things to the level that you need them done. You can't trust anyone to do anything. You can never delegate things. Or when you do delegate things to other people, you're always having to check over their work and make sure that's correct and all that kind of stuff. If you are opposed to delegating work to other people or other systems, you have to let go of that first. You have to let go of that before thinking about automating or making your life easier. You have to first let go of the idea of doing everything yourself. And I'm saying all these things, but I'm talking to you guys, but I'm also half talking to myself at the same time. So if you're a very ambitious person, you're a high achiever, you want to do well, you want to succeed, you're probably going to be able to relate to the story that I'm about to tell you. Okay, so when I was younger, I used to play soccer, right? And I decided when I was young that I wanted to be better than everybody else at soccer. And so logically, what I did, which is what most people do, I decided that I was gonna train more. I was gonna do 10 times more work than everybody else was doing, and by doing more, I was gonna become better than everyone else. You can probably relate to this as well, whether it's in your professional and your personal life. If you're a competitive person, you're ambitious. You've probably made this decision at some point that you're gonna become better than everyone else by putting in more work and more time than everyone else is putting in. There's just one small problem with that way of thinking, is that unfortunately there's only 24 hours in a day, which I'm sure you've realized. The higher and higher levels you go to, whether it's in your sport or your profession or whatever you're doing, you're going to realize you get to a point to where everybody's basically working as hard as they can. And because there's no way to get extra time in a day, and there's no way to get really extra energy, everyone basically ends up doing as much work as they possibly can, right? And so there's no more advantage to doing more work when you hit that cap of the maximum amount of work you can do. And obviously there are people who can benefit from just doing more work, but I'm assuming probably if you've gotten to this point in the video, if you're running your own firm, you have your own practice, you have your own business, and you've been able to see some level of success as an entrepreneur, you probably fall into the class of people that works as hard as they possibly can. Just doing more of the same thing is not going to get you where you want to get to, right? So you have to figure out, how do you get more bang for your buck, essentially? How do I get 10 times or 100 times more out of my hour than my competition is getting out of their hour? And so that's where leverage comes in. Leverage helps us to multiply our inputs. I'm going to cover the two most important ways and the two easiest, most accessible ways to get leverage for yourself and your business in 2025. So the two best ways to make sure you're using your time in a way that is maximizing leverage is producing content. So making videos, social media content is one, because social media content is going to work for you around the clock. And the other one is code or automation or AI as well. So all those things, software is another way that you can get leverage. You can build systems that are going to work for you while you sleep. You then put yourself in a position where you can get 10, 20, 50, 100 times more output out of your hour than other people who don't have these systems in place are going to be getting. Creating content or building automations or building workflows, those aren't things that you can bill for. And so a lot of people will skip over those things or overlook those things because they can't directly bill for creating social media content, or they can't bill for the time that they spent building an automation for the business. But it is really, I really encourage you to look at it as an investment. If you build an automation today that's going to save you that costs you 10 hours to build, but it's going to save you 2 hours a day every single day for the next year, you can start to see that a lot of the things that may not be billable right now are actually some of the highest leverage activities you can be doing. And so I want to introduce you to this book. This book is called 10x is easier than 2x, and the fundamental concept is that going from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 100 is easier than going from 10 to 20 or from 1 to 2, because usually when people try to 2x their output, they just do more of what they're already doing. There's a quote that says, if you want to do what you've never done before, you have to do what you've never done before. I mean, your input has to change. If you tell someone to cover the distance of 1 block as fast as they can, they'll probably run. But if you tell somebody to go 5 or 10 blocks, then they'll get in the car and drive. Because the objective is much bigger, the person recognizes that they have to use a different mechanism to achieve that objective than they would for a much smaller objective. With solopreneurs, we like to try to do everything by ourselves, but figuring out how to delegate, whether it's to systems and automations or whether it's to other people, is going to be one of the highest leverage activities that you can do. As you're building these systems out and you're trying to make your life easier and you're trying to automate the things that are going on in your practice, there's going to be an emotional barrier or blockage that's going to try to stop you from making your life easier. Like always, I'm going to try to leave you guys with an actionable, an action item, something that you can do today that you can actually take home and use. So I'm going to show you a document that I've used. It's actually a really scary document if you go through and use it to track your time in 30-minute increments throughout the week, so you can see exactly what you're spending your time doing. And if you do this for a week, you'll notice how much time you can get back if you really pay attention to how you're spending your time. A lot of times the way that we waste time is not on big things. It's more death by 1,000 cuts. So I'm going to give you that tool now. And then I'll also link it in the description so you can take it and you can use it. Basically, it allows you to track what you're doing in 30-minute increments. So we have all the way from midnight, and this goes all the way down until 11:30 p.m. And we have it for every single day. Basically, what you can do is at every 30-minute increment, you can go in and you can change these so that you're basically noting what you're doing every 30 minutes. And you can have all of these different types of activities in here, and you can note what you're doing in every 30 minutes. So you can do that, and then what you can do to the right of this column is you can note whether this is an activity that's contributing to your goals or not. I'm going to link this in the description so you can take it and use it. As always, if you are a solo attorney and you want my help building out these automations, workflows for your business, there is a link in the description. Please don't be alarmed. It's me putting on a sales hat trying to sell you something, so it's there if you want it. That's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it was useful for you. If you liked the video, believe it or not, there's a button for that. You can click on the like button. It'll help YouTube to show you more videos like these. Drop a comment. Let me know if you like these type of videos or what other types of videos you want me to make. And also subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can stay up to date with all of the tutorials and all of the content that's coming out on this channel. Thank you guys so much for actually watching this video, for going through. And if you made it all this way, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Have an amazing day.